Hello and welcome to the Constitution Study. My name is Paul Engel. We are here to read, to study, to understand our Constitution, and to teach the rising generation to be free. Yes, we are here to return the Constitution to its rightful owners, we the people of the United States of America, and I am glad you decided to join me today. If you are new to the Constitution Study, welcome, enjoy, listen to what's going on. Head over to the website, constitutionstudy.com. You can learn more about what we're doing. You can not only hear other podcast episodes, you can read the other articles I've written. You can ask a question. I love questions. I get great questions through the website, which I love to answer on the podcast, via email, or on the website. So please head over there, look around. If you have any questions, ask them. I love them. If you are a loyal listener, if you're returning, thank you very much. It takes loyalty. It takes dedication to understand not only the mess that our federal government and state governments are in, but what needs to be done to fix it. And remember, we the people formed this union. We the people are responsible for its condition. Now, as I said, head over to the website, constitutionstudy.com. Ask a question. Join the mailing list. I don't send out a lot. I really leave the mailing list to announcements, serious announcements, releasing new essays, new events, stuff like that. I do a monthly update to kind of let people know what's going on. But it helps me understand, it helps me keep you informed of what else is going on in a timely manner. You can also find me on Facebook and on YouTube. We've got a YouTube channel where we post all of the podcasts. You can head over to Patreon and consider supporting the work that we're doing. I enjoy this work. I love this work, but it's not cheap. It takes time, it takes effort, and there's a cost involved. And if you feel called to help me, either head to Amazon.com. You can find my books. If you go to Amazon.com/author/Paul Engel, all one word, you will see all the essays I've written. You can support me through that. You can support me through Patreon. Most of all, if you can support me through interaction on the website, that is one of the biggest things that I look forward to. It helps me know what you're thinking, what questions need to be asked, and where areas that we can look at through the website and through the podcast. Oh, excuse me. So today, we're going to go into the book. If you've listened to the introduction, if you've read the introduction on the website, I'm working on a book on studying the Constitution. And while I do that, I stumble across really interesting things that I want to share with you before the actual book comes out. And we're going to do one of those today. We're going to go over the 10th Amendment. Actually, we're going to go over what I found while studying for the chapter on the 10th Amendment. So the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States reads, "The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people." It sounds real simple, and it really is. If the Constitution doesn't specifically say the federal government can do something, it can't. Either it's reserved to either the states, or if it's prohibited to the states, it belongs to the people. Real simple. One sentence, not that hard. Unless, of course, you're a politician or live and work in Washington, in which case this is confusing as all get out. So while I was doing some research on this, I just wanted to get an idea of really how many powers not delegated to the federal government do they actually exercise. So I did some research and I found a website called A to Z Index of U.S. Government Departments and Agencies. Lovely name. And I started doing some calculations. Now, this website lists 659 U.S. government agencies and departments. A little more research found out that this list included all 50 states, 6 territories, 2 houses of Congress, 5 courts, and 53 duplicate agencies. Things like, Department of Homeland Security or Homeland Security's Department. It was just weird. So I started doing a little more research. And when I did that and I took out the states and the non-government, the non-government agencies and the territories and the duplicates, I came up with a list of 537 departments and agencies that are in the federal government. I then went through the Constitution, especially the Articles 1, 2, and 3, and I tried to be generous. I tried to use a generous definition of what could legitimately be considered an enumerated power. And I hate to tell you this, folks, but with this generous definition, I found 49 agencies where I could find an actual delegated power in the Constitution. So, if any power not delegated to the United States remains with the states or the people, that means that 90% of the federal government departments and agencies are unconstitutional. Oh, and guess what? That also means they're illegal. Article 6 of the Constitution says the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any law not made in pursuant is not the law of the land. It's illegal. Oh, wonderful. Just imagine how much less painful would April 15th be if the IRS only took from us money that it needed to do the work the federal government was actually authorized to do? Gee, wouldn't it be nice if your tax bill was maybe 10, 15% of what it is today? Imagine how much easier life would be if we didn't spend it stumbling over this myriad of federal agencies that have neither legal nor legitimate reasons for being. Gee, it sounds like sending out agents into the colonies and swarming them with rules and regulations. Kind of one of the reasons we declared independence, isn't it? The fact that the list of U.S. government agencies and departments and agencies included the states at first really bothered me. I mean, it really got under my skin. How stupid. Can't the federal government actually get an accurate count of its own departments? Then it dawned on me. You see, the federal government orders how the states draw up their congressional districts, how they spend their educational money, what environmental and licensing laws they can have, and on and on and on and on. It basically means the federal government treats the states as if it were actually a department of the federal government. And since the states long ago abandoned any standing up for their rights, more accurately their sovereignty, why would not the feds treat them like colonies? They act like colonies. They submit to the federal government even when what the federal government is doing is illegal. Now, why is this so important? Simple. If we don't understand the Constitution, we believe that politicians are exercising a legal authority when they pass legislation that violates the 10th Amendment. Who remembers Nancy Pelosi being asked, does the Constitution authorize this? And her response was, really? Really? Yeah. The feds don't care. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the rule of law. They just care about what they can get away with. You see, when we accept they are illegal actions, and I'm just going to start using that term. We refer to it often as unconstitutional, but I'm referring to it as illegal because it is. If the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, anything against the Constitution that's not pursuant to its words is illegal. It's against the law. We need to start acting that way. They are breaking the law, and we accept it. In fact, not only do we accept it, we actually begin to expect it. When our state representatives genuflect to the federal government rather than standing up for their rights, it's what we're expecting. So really, if you want to get money out of politics, if you want to get Washington under control and off your back, if you want to return control of the federal government to the states and the people, we must first understand the limitations placed on that government and be willing to hold all our elected representatives accountable to enforce it. And I mean all. Our federal representatives, our state representatives, our federal senators, our state senators, everybody in government. We need to force them, everybody who represents us, to abide by the Constitution or fire them. It's not technically that hard, although it's not that simple. We just have to vote them out of office. Wouldn't it be simple if you could go to a representative or a senator and say, I look at your voting record. You swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. Here are the X number of things you did that violated the Constitution. Bye-bye. We'll give somebody else a chance. No, we spend too much time worrying about whether there's an R or a D after their name, which is stupid. In fact, Washington said it would destroy this nation. It is this lackadaisical approach to our federal government that has let it get out of control, that has let it dominate our lives, that has turned it from a representative republic into a tyranny. When the majority of the people don't want a law, but Congress passes anyway, when a law clearly violates the Constitution, but the Supreme Court gives it its blessing, we don't live in a government. We don't have a government of laws. We have a government of tyrants. And this is exactly the situation that caused our forefathers to declare independence. Now, trust me, I am not suggesting in any way, shape, or form that we fight this battle on the battlefield. I would hate to see that happen. I do wish, however, we would fight it at the ballot box. I wish we would wake up and start focusing a little more on the responsibilities, not just the privileges we've been given, but the responsibilities we've been given as citizens of this nation. The responsibility to choose our representatives well, to hold them accountable when they don't do their job, and to find somebody who will. So that's what I was thinking about with the 10th Amendment. We have an out-of-control federal government, and the only people who can fix it are us. The question is, when will we start? Or will we start at all? I don't know. I think that's for another podcast episode. But for now, I'll ask you again, head over to the website, constitutionstudy.com. Consider supporting the work that I'm doing. Participate. That's really what I want to have happen. If you don't feel like giving money, that's fine. Ask a question. I'm not using money as a tool to gain access. What I'm really trying to do is keep this movement going. So again, head over to the website, follow me on Facebook, share what you hear, share this with a friend, share this with somebody who asks a question or who makes a statement that is blatantly unconstitutional. Help educate others. I'm in the middle of an interesting email discussion with somebody who asked a question around the idea of rights, and I'm more than willing to spend time and help educating people. It's the calling I have here. It's the passion I have here. And I'm hoping that you will join me. And I hope to see you again the next time on the Constitution Study.